Okay, I guess. What's up, people? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, man. Who's here? What up, everybody? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Welcome back. It's Sunday. And yeah. And we're in the house. Sorry for the late start. It wasn't going to be a start, but it was too short a notice. I had to do it. And then in the process, I ran into a couple of computer glitches, but I worked around them. The one-man show poured it off again. Well, not quite. Not quite. We haven't done the show, actually, but I have everything I need to get going. So, with that in mind, Happy New Year to anybody who hasn't been here since the new year. Welcome back. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. We're on Facebook. We're on X, and we're on YouTube. What's up with my people? Tim Black's Wolfpack in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Let's put that banner up for my VIPs, man. The VIPs. Yo, what up, VIP people? Yeah. The VIPs in the house. Thank you, VIP people, for coming through and supporting this show and keeping this media content doing what it do. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, and don't forget, guys, I don't have a mug on my desk right now. I had to wash them. If you want a Tim Black mug, go to timblackmug.com. It's a nice mug. Me mug. Go to timblackmug.com. Get your official Tim Black Legacy coffee mug. Dishwasher safe, microwave safe. Politically revolutionary cup. And nothing safe about the politics, though. That politics is something else, man. Yeah, man. Something else. So what do we got for you, man? So I got a great show for you guys, but if you're new to the show, once again, we do political content. This is a political show. U.S. politics is what we cover on this show. We also cover breaking news and Black culture. And I'm Black, so that helps. So we do what we do, people. We do what we do. I got topics, but I didn't have time to write them down. I said, let me just go. So this is me just going, people. That's right. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's make sure I say what's up to my moderators. My bad. Moderators, thank you for moderating. Buck Bewley and Black Mamba. That gleam is something else, ain't it, man? Christ. Bring the lights down just a little bit here, Johnson. All this melanin on pop. The melanin and all the, got on a black sweater too. So look, guys, I want to get started off with a clip. Look. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Tim Black, all this is over with the election stuff. Tim Black, it's over. Can we just get on to the business of living our lives? Can we just get to that part? Well, you know what? It'd be nice if we could. But the problem is, what we do now will dictate the future. And we can't go to sleep. We can't pretend that we're living in La La Land. This is not La La Land. This is America. And America has problems. So we got to address it. One way we address it here is by telling the truth. We tell the truth because the truth is important. It can influence how you conduct your life. It can influence the decisions you make, how you view life. These are all important things. So that's why we do the show the way we do it. In the process of gathering information and trying to stay on top of things, I often pay attention to the people in the Democratic Party who are actually attempting to do something that makes sense. Because I'm gonna be clear, guys. On this show, Democrats and Republicans they both can get the smoke. The thing is, as a Black man in America, I'm very much conscious that 90 to 95% of Black Americans vote Democrat, no matter who run it. One of my goals is to change that. If you're new to the show, you need to know one of my goals is to break up the relationship the abusive relationship that Black America has with the Democratic Party. Is that simple enough? Is that clear enough? It's unfortunate that I don't get to do a live stream that reaches, 100,000 people so people can get it. Maybe 5, 10. Why stop at 100,000, Tim? I wish I could reach millions just so they understand this. You're never going to get what you want out of the Democratic Party if they know you're never going to go anywhere. If they know you safely at home cooking and cleaning, plus working a full-time job, paying all the bills, doing all the things. And they ain't got to do nothing, but say they're going to do something. Now, I mean, I don't know how y'all was raised. I wasn't raised that way. James Carville is a Democratic strategist. He has a point of view that's a little bit different. In fact, he's the only person I've heard from the Democratic Party say anything that I thought was substantive about the Democrats and what happened in 2024. Check this out.
Well, first of all, I totally agree with that person. It's very depressing. But if you're doing political strategy, if you have an airplane crash, you got to go back and find out what went wrong. You don't say, well, let's just forget about it and move on. No, was the flap set in the right setting, or, was there something that the pilot didn't pay attention to? I don't know, but it is sort of depressing. But, Michael, there's a simple basic rule of politics is voters want an election about them. They don't want an election about you or your opponent. And for too much, we lost that. I lost it myself. We made it about Trump, and we didn't make it about voters. And it's never a good idea. And how could I, at 80 years old, been doing this for 50 years, lapse into that level of stupidity? I got to ask myself. But I think we did. And, let's learn from this. It's a disaster. I agree. It's depressing. But to have an event like this and not learn from it, I think is the biggest mistake we can make.
Oh, hey, look, shout out to Willie D. James Carville is the first Democrat that I heard say something, to say that specifically, but to say something that I felt wasn't self-serving when it comes to somewhat falling on the sword on this thing. Because I heard other Democrats say things like, I've heard Van Jones, I've heard John Fetterman, but it didn't ring the same way. Okay, James Carville is saying, look, guys, we spend way too much time talking about Trump. The elections are supposed to be about talking about the people and what the people want. The issues. More than just the issues, what the people are interested in, what floats their boat, what gets them excited, what their pain points are. That's all this election should have been about. It's not supposed to be about you, which is a problem that Trump sometimes has. Right? Democrats can see that from a mile away. They say stuff like, I remember Kamala Harris saying over and over how Trump spent a lot of his time talking about himself. You spent a lot of time talking about nothing. And if you wasn't talking about nothing, you were talking about Trump. And all our surrogates were talking about nothing. And if they weren't talking about nothing, they were talking about Trump. So Carville is saying, this is a recipe for disaster. And what I love about this clip is Carville says, I've been doing this 50 years. I've been doing it 50 years, and I fell for it myself. I can't believe I screwed up like this. I look back and I say, how did I do that 50 years in the business and I still got it wrong? I messed around and I started talking about Trump. I mean, it's so basic. Now, I will add this to Carville's autopsy. I'll add this. My brother, you should have been talking about also how the Democrats were not listening to what people were saying, because I was saying it. I ain't the only one. There were a lot of people in new black media who were saying the same thing. You're not talking about what we care about. There were regular voters all across the country saying similar things. What's Kamala going to do for us? What are they going to do for us? Instead, they were talking about feelings and how to be a better person and having joy and stuff like that. That's what they were talking about. So at the end of the day, to the people that are still holding out hope for the Democratic Party, your only hope is will be a James Carville. And that's not much hope, because he's been a part of a lot of things that have gone wrong for the Democratic Party. This ain't the only thing. But I admire the fact, or I acknowledge, not admire, I acknowledge the fact that he said that, and it sounds like it was sincere. Does it mean a whole hell of a lot? No. But it's true. And on this show, we recognize truth. It doesn't mean you go out and buy a James Carville hat, shirt, sweater, vest. It just means we acknowledge what was true. And what's true is the Democrats spent way too much time over-indexing on the amount of time spent talking about Donald Trump. So you got Donald Trump talking about Donald Trump, and we got the Democrats talking about Donald Trump. So nobody was talking about Kamala. There was no organic growth for Kamala Harris. Only people talking about Kamala was Zia Hughley, Ricky Smiley, Angela Rye, Charlamagne the God. Surrogates posing, Roland Martin posing as journalists, posing as influencers, posing as black people in media. But what they really were paid surrogates and some waiting on a paycheck surrogates. Everybody in Roland Martin's shop, save for one sister, save for one, all of them have been long-time Kamala Harris boosters, supporters, surrogates, all of them. They're not putting the people first. They put their own interests first. I tell y'all, the media game is Hollywood for ugly people. Especially that Reese woman. I look back to 2015, 2016, she is giving Kamala a lap dance in 2016. It didn't start this cycle. These people have been repeat offenders of offering the people nothing and going with the hot hand, going with the hand that's going to be closest to the money, going with what looks like them. They all fall for identity politics. They put that over everything else. They don't care about the substance, and does it really make our lives better? If Kamala was going to make your life better, fam, sister, I know you wanted it, but if she was going to make your life better, she should have said so. She should have talked about how your life was going to be better. She should have waited till it was a week or 2 weeks before the election, then throwing some stuff against the wall and see if it sticks, hoping you'd be duped by it. Well, anyway, James Carville, I give it up for you on this point. I appreciate you saying it. I appreciate you having the guts to put it out there. Will the Democrats learn from it? Hell no. They're going to do what they've been doing. That's why I try to tell people, we need a new party. Tim Black is leading the way on this. We're going to do something different. We ain't going to stay stupid. We can't stay stuck on stupid. And that's what the Democratic Party wants you to do, to stay stuck on stupid, to stay in that abusive relationship. They don't even leave a couple dollars on the nightstand. They leave you with all the bills and all the kids and leave you laying there in the wet spot. That what you want? Fine. Enjoy. But if you want something different, you got to go another way. And to my fake people out there, the cornballs, your time is coming. Your time is coming. Don't be afraid of me. Be afraid of justice. Don't be afraid of me. Be afraid of the roosters coming home to roost. What you afraid of me for? All right, let's go, guys. I'm feeling pumped up. I'm feeling good. How you guys feeling? You guys okay? All right. Jesus Christ, Tim Black. Someone wrote me the other day and said, Tim Black, something telling me to be nice. What country do you live in? What world do you, we're not just what country, but we're Americans, so we talk about America primarily. It's a U.S. politics show. But what world, what country do you live in where you could say to a person that covers the detritus, the carnage of this country's political landscape, and say they should focus on being nice? What world is that? I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. I never got baptized. You at the wrong show. Do you realize what's going on? Bad water, bad food, bad schools, bad prisons, bad court system, bad everything, and I got you, a grown-ass man, talking about nice. Take your nice ass across the street. Go see one of those nice white guys in the progress. Go see one of them nice white guys over there, calling themselves progressive. Go over there. Go stand over there. Go over there. Go stand with them. Go stand with Jesse Dolomore or with, one of these guys. Go stand over there. That's why Bo from the Fifth Column had to lead this shit. Bunch of stuck-on stupids. He probably ended the show and every night was like, oh, these people are just, can't do nothing with them. They're just so slow. All right, man. That don't mean I'm gonna come on the show every day and cry like Angela cry. I said that don't mean I'm gonna come on the show every day and cry like Angela cry. But you find one thing that works for you and then you stick with it. Oh, waterworks. Her and Van Jones, man, they found their groove. All right, guys, let's move on to the next thing. I got something for you. Speaking of a reason to be pissed off, this whole H-1B visa thing, this right here should not even be a conversation. There are people throwing way too much into the game here when we talk about H-1B visas. What you need to know is that it is a scheme. Whoop-de-doo, you live in America. It's a capitalistic society, and the primary objective is to make as much money as humanly possible, as corporately possible. And the corporations own our media, they own our politicians, they own our prison systems. Okay? They own our war machine. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got the audacity to think this is about people? Don't nobody give a damn about people. If we cared about people, we wouldn't have people on the streets. The money we get in Ukraine could end homelessness in America, but we ain't dumb enough to put that money into that. Because if we put the money into ending homelessness in America instead of making more bombs, ain't no return on investment. What we gonna do? Who we gonna lock up? Who we gonna blame things on? How we gonna distract from the next person that set someone on fire on the subway? You know how many days we were able to distract from all the other crap America was doing across the globe by focusing on this one person that died horrifically? My condolences to your family. Isn't that something about condolences? No one says condolences to the person that's gone. Well, I guess they can't hear it, huh? Just seems a little weird. Anyway, my point is this H-1B visa thing. This should not be a conversation. Whenever I hear people kind of like debating this, you got billionaires and want to be billionaires for it. You got working class people and people and middle income people and middle of America people and people that work for a living and people that work in IT in different fields. Americans going, get rid of this. And you got to figure out, you got to wrap your head around why or who to be with, what side to be on. You don't get it? Here goes a clip from 60 Minutes that shows you exactly who's in the fight and what the fight's about. Listen to this horror story.
It wasn't called training your replacement. It was called knowledge transfer.
Craig D'Angelo worked for Northeast Utilities, now called Eversource. and was one of 220 IT workers replaced by H-1B visa employees. D'Angelo says his replacement, a worker from India, told him he was making half D'Angelo's salary with no benefits.
Stop everything. We should be able just to cut it off right there, shouldn't we? That should be enough for the dum-dums with the head up Elon's butt. That should be enough for those who want to give Vivek a sponge bath. Shouldn't it? And it should also be enough for the MAGA people that had the audacity to say they stand for something and allow Trump to slide this shit in, to go against everything he said he stood for, to send these guys in. Oh, you don't think Trump and Elon and Vivek are coordinating on this? You don't think this is coordinated, that they be for it, and he's sitting there like, then he comes out? This story right here, I seen this happen. Let's run this back.
It wasn't called training your replacement. It was called knowledge transfer.
Craig D'Angelo worked for Northeast Utilities, now called Eversource, and was one of 220 IT workers replaced by H-1B visa employees. D'Angelo says his replacement, a worker from India, told him he was making half D'Angelo's salary with no benefits.
I didn't get laid off for lack of work. I got laid off because somebody cheaper could do my job.
To anyone who would say you're anti-immigrant.
No.
That's a lie.
No.
That's a lie. You don't want to have any animosity towards them because they're looking for a better way of life.
We met with this group of workers who all had to train replacements. Leo Pereiro had just received high performance reviews from Disney. When he was called into a personnel meeting, he expected a raise and a promotion.
And instead,
I was given the news that in 90 days, my job was over, and I had to train my replacement. Never in my life did I imagine, until this happened at Disney, that I could be sitting at my desk and somebody would be flown in from another country,
Right.
sit at my same desk and chair, and take over what I was doing. It was the most humiliating and demoralizing thing I've ever gone through in my life.
It wasn't called training.
There we go. Talk about a reason to go postal. Some of your kids may be too young to understand what that term meant. Going postal would be when an employee flipped out and decided, well, it was time to decorate the office with a few brains of the employees that worked in that office over being disgruntled about how they were treated by the management. This was very common in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s. Hell, I even saw government worker do it right here on the M Street, D.C., right here at one of the bases. Yeah, because it's only so far you can push people. Only so far. It's only so disrespectful that you can disrespect people before the disrespect has gone so far that retaliation is the next step. Listen to these people talk. Now, obviously, these are a bunch of xenophobic assholes, right? Obviously, we got a room full of immigrant-hating deplorables, garbage people, right? Right? Isn't that what they say? That's got to be what it is. Can't be hardworking people just trying to feed their families. This can't just be that people need to be able to live indoors, take care of their bills. Now, I say they got to be demonized. Shame on Vivek. You didn't see Vivek coming. I don't know what you were looking at. Elon, I mean, who didn't know what Elon was about? Anti-union, busting ass? And look how he ran his companies. What you expect from him? But it's just the idea that there are people that are always duped by the obvious. Someone comes to you and says, they don't come to you, they surprise you. Hey, guess what? We got somebody we want you to train, and they're going to be taking your job. But if you want your severance package, you don't want to go straight unemployment. Also in those severance packages are like little trainings where they try to offboard you, like set you up for success. I remember when I was with one of the phone companies, I think it was MCI. I was doing something with MCI and we got laid off. And same type of thing. If you went into this program, they kind of, you went to this thing and they help you get your resume together so that you could go into the next opportunity prepared. You just went out there because they really wanted their hands clean in case people decided to retaliate, and also to keep that a negative spin that this was giving what was happening to the phone companies. Whenever new technology is introduced, there's always going to be casualties. The rise of the cell phone meant the dying of the home phone. And they couldn't make a grip off of long distance because now people not paying an arm and a leg. Remember that? But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm off track. The point is this. This doesn't sound like hate mongering. This doesn't sound like hateful rhetoric from people that are white nationalists. Does it, Pat? Yeah, we got Patrick Bet-David, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and a bunch of other corny wannabe conservative news channels supporting this. But I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people aren't talking about, because that, folks, is the low-hanging fruit. You know what's funny? Is that all these Kamala supporters would allow her to do the same thing. Yeah, so no Democrat can say anything. They want to laugh at the Republicans. Democrats would have done the same thing. It just wouldn't have been an uproar about it, because all of the sheep-like fools that vote with Kamala and to vote with the Democrats and vote for Biden would have went right to their demise, eyes wide open. That sensing dread of that air gun thing that hits you in the head that they do the cows with. So I will give the MAGA that. I will give the independent voters that. At least they are making noise. Because if Joe Biden did this, nobody would say anything. They're too busy taking pictures with the man. They're not going to say shit. So the argument against H-1B visas is very clear. It's a scam. It's a scheme. It's been that way. It's the way corporations are able to get people, and then you have it written that they have, in order to stay in the country, they got to stay at this job. They're being sponsored. I can't think of another arrangement where you have less control. Horrific stuff, man. And then they're sending money home. I like what the guy said. He said, you know what? It's not about the immigrant that's doing this. It's low-hanging fruit to demonize that person. So we got to steadily continue to move away from that. One of my problems is the audience that I'm building, sometimes they're not thinking that way. So I gotta educate them and kind of coerce, not coerce, but kind of provide that nuance without making it seem like I'm caping. Because that's the first thing the morons will say. You're caping. You're supporting. No. The bottom line is anybody that comes here on a program, if you don't like the program, you got to talk to the government, not the person taking the program. That's basic. They didn't write the rules. I used to tell people all the time when I was in IT, I say, look, we had to hire this person, put him on our team. This person don't know anything. The guys will be pissed off. I say, look, guys, hey, hold on. It's not his fault. He didn't hire himself. You didn't hire him. I didn't hire him. He didn't hire himself. If we want to be upset with somebody, we'd be upset with the people that hired him. So a couple takeaways before we wrap this one up. Put a bow on it. It's very simple. Very, very simple. When they do this, they're lying. They're distracting with this idea. We're only talking about the very 1.01% of people that are in these very, very hard to find jobs. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about all the other people that you do this with. Okay? They use an extreme case to try to camouflage all of the regular engineering positions and IT positions, computer security positions, all of these other roles that are being filled this way. It's not just a very difficult programming, only 20 people know this language and have this proficiency in Q-base 162235 square 46.2 update of said squid Sybil Stribble D-base 1655, like whatever that is. But all the rest of the employees, all the rest of the people that are receiving these scholarships, not scholarships, but these the rest of the people that they're bringing over, they're taking jobs that regular Americans can do and jobs that they're already doing. And that's always been my argument. Unless the company is brand new, who was doing a job before? See, you don't have to know everything. You just have to use your common sense. If you want to say Tim Black, this is going to destroy enterprises. This is going to destroy companies. How will the companies survive? Who was doing the job before this? Because unless you're a brand new company, somebody had to previously have the position. That's when it get quiet. All of a sudden, somebody ain't got nothing to say. All of a sudden, there's no rebuttal. All of a sudden, they want to change the subject. All of a sudden, here comes the gaslighting. Here comes the straw manning. All of a sudden, I'm being called all kinds of homophobic, Islamophobic, Vivekophobic, Elonophobic. Nah, man, no. It's a scam. Just like most of things in America, it's a scam. All right, let's keep going, guys. Give it up for that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We got more to get to, man. I tell you, man. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's go to Don Lemon. Don Lemon went viral. I don't know if you saw this clip. It's about a week old. But there was a lot of conversation about it because Don Lemon was laughing his ass off about what appears to be farm workers or something. Let's hear the clip and let's rock with it.
They can, farmers say, without these workers, they have about 2 days that they can run their farms. And then after that, it's over. Oh my gosh, I love this. Now you're finding out, you dumb fucking idiots. Now you're just figuring this shit out.
Let me get this right, Don. First of all, I love the language. I appreciate it, man. It's very refreshing. I'm one of those people that admire. This is, at least now, if you want to embrace being independent by actually putting out truth, honesty, ethical reporting, at least you can do is curse. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you damn sure ain't using your platform to tell us no hard truths, to break down the system. In fact, you're laughing at people that wanted the system changed. You're mocking people that said the way the system is functioning is not good for us working people. It sucks. And you saying, ha ha, told you he wasn't going to change it. You're giddy like a little schoolgirl over the fact Americans are being screwed over. The person that you were supporting, very clearly supporting Kamala Harris, wasn't going to change shit. You're laughing that these voters, Republicans, independents, or whoever, voted for Trump, and now you're saying they got food into thinking he was. So basically, you got your hands, both hands full of garbage. Both of your hands are full of shit. And that's funny to you.
Out, you dumb fucking idiots. Now you're just figuring this shit out. You're so fucking stupid and you deserve it.
This is how they all feel. I got a feeling Don Lemon was up to get some money with Kamala Harris. I got a feeling that he was going to make more money with the Democrats. Look, man, all these people that I see that are perpetually in their feelings about Kamala losing, which is obviously what's happened here. All these guys like Don Lemon, from DL to all of them, and all these folks, throw a stick, throw a rock, it'll land on one of these morons, one of these sellouts, right? Who had eyes, their eyes were full of dollar bills, dollar signs, of all the opportunity that was going to come their way if Kamala Harris was to win. Oh, they were going to get the hookup. Woo! It was going to be good for them. All of them are in their feelings, and it's going to stay this way for at least 6 months. Until they accept the fact, oh, I guess I got to move on with life. Don has been crying in his Rice Krispies, or his crepes. He's been crying in his eggs Benedict with his husband every morning, thinking about all the money he could have made. If only those silly kids weren't so nosy. If it wasn't for those nosy kids that wanted to report the news the right way, they wanted to tell the right stories. And at the end of the day, it's not even about that, is it? It's about the horrible Democratic Party being unable to beat Donald Trump. And then Kamala would have came in and did the same thing. She would have came in and not changed anything in the system. And you know what? Don wouldn't have said shit. He'd have been quiet, just like all of them. So that's why I tell people, it doesn't matter. It's nothing to cry about if Kamala lost. She wasn't going to change anything anyway. I don't know why these morons think she was. She wasn't running on changing anything. She was running to keep things the way they are. If you didn't like the way the things were, then you didn't really have an alternative, did you? If you felt life was that good under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, going with Kamala wasn't going to fix anything. Don knows that. Don's not a dumb man. He's a sellout. He's a cornball. He's not funny. And he's a horrible specimen of a backbone in a human being. But he ain't stupid. You don't make that kind of money being stupid. Him and Joy Reid are not dumb. Don't be dismissive. They're really good at not giving a shit about black people. They're excellent at it. He's been doing it for years. I got content I've covered. The real Don Lemon. I got it on my YouTube channel. Well, I show exactly his trajectory of hating on blacks. And it wasn't until his ass saw the handwriting on the wall that he was going to hit the bricks that he started going, oh, that's right. I'm no ways tired. His ass is already halfway out the door. Let's listen to a little bit more Don Lemon. Let's do it, guys.
You fucking deserve it because you're so dumb. Jim.
Great words. He said you're so dumb. Dumb enough to think that Trump was going to change the system. Well, we'll see what happens. He's not the president yet. But we all know any Democrat who thought Kamala was going to change the system, what are they, Don? Hey, Don! Any Democratic voter who's been crying in their Rice Krispies every morning in their underwear, drinking cold coffee, depressed about Trump being president. Any of them that thought that Kamala Harris was going to fix the system, change the system, what are they? Oh, we know. Just good Americans, right? I say fucking idiots. But I'm not like you, so I'll just say misinformed, grossly misinformed.
It's hypocrisy. So go with me here. Yes, I am gloating over your stupidity and how you were taken. I'm cackling in Kamala, says in Shanta. You have been co-opted because you're in a fucking cult and you don't even realize it because you have stupid MAGA brain.
Yeah. Don Lemon has accepted the fact that the MAGA will not accept him, that there is no play for him on the right. It's a beautiful thing when you see that happen, right? Right? See how it is when they realize there's no lane for them? Yeah, see, Don, remember Don was working with Elon? Remember this? He made a play after he got drop kicked from 60 Minutes. I'm sorry, from CNN. Once he got kicked off the Clinton News Network, he didn't have, he was like, what am I going to do? I got to do something. And he was like, okay. He went away for a while. It's just so much cocaine one person can do. And he said, okay, I got to do something else. Let me get back in the media. I got money. Let me spend it. Now, this is all me. This is a theory. I'm alleged, him with the cocaine, that's alleged. But he was doing something. Come on, I don't know. But something. He's doing something. And yeah, he tried to jump to the right for a minute there. Tried to like, he's always been a soft Republican anyway. He's always been a Republican who cared about LGBT. That's what he's always been. He's never been against wars. He's never been against mass incarceration. He's never really been against the cops, police brutality. He's never been like these, like, he don't cover the environment. Like, what has Don really ever been about? LGBTQ. He complained that black people are homophobic. That'd be about it. And then he just do his regular. So it's basically just a center right show is what he had. There were goofies, and I would say people that are very impressionable, people with low EQ and IQ when it comes to really digesting and analyzing people's coverage. I could break down. I got spreadsheets looking at his content, looking at what he covered. Look at what his actual focus was. They were too busy looking at, oh, he's brown, so that must mean don't flush it down. And if that's all you go on is the skin color of someone, then you'll be fooled all the time. Don made a play to go to the right. It didn't work out, so he had to come back to the center. And now he's safely in the center because that's all he can do. And this is everything you see here. This is a cry for help. Don is crying for help here. This is a man. He's it's a word for it. I forget the word. It's he's not mirroring. He's projecting. Yeah, he's projecting. That's the word for it. Thank you, person who put it in the comments. Don Lemon is projecting onto you what he actually feels about himself. There's not a single Democratic person, man. It's not a single Kamala Harris voter who would have got shit out of Kamala Harris when it comes to the border being corrected, when it comes to H-1B visas, anything related to immigration. You would have got nothing out of her. You do understand that. For Don Lemon to laugh at people when there's something done about this and say, see, that's not the whole reason why Kamala lost. She lost for a lot of reasons. But she wasn't going to do it. That wasn't the reason to vote for Kamala. They didn't say, oh, I'm only going to vote for Trump because of this. That's one reason. But Kamala was so horrible. Biden was so horrible. And speaking to the needs of the people, take that away, they still wouldn't have got the votes. But we still got to see what happens. If Trump does anything, and I do mean anything on this issue, it will be a win for those people. Because we all know Kamala not only wouldn't have done anything to rectify the problem at the border, she would have made it worse. So you can listen to people like Don Lemon and his friends. You get upset about it because his cursing is trying to get you upset. He's mad because you have not become part of his audience. How can you be Don Lemon? Have a show. Come on, guys. Hold on a second. Let's kick our shoes up for a second. Think about who Don Lemon is. He's a guy who was paid tens of millions of dollars per year. He had a show on CNN. I don't know how many people tuned into it. This guy can't even crack 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's been here almost a year. How are you going to be Don Lemon and can't do that? He has been rejected by the people. That's what it is. He's known globally. And the man can't pull in 1 million subscribers. You'll be mad too. You'll be upset too. This proves that without him being on scene and having all that money behind him, having him put him in that nice office, him having the tailor make his suits just the right way, having the lighting adjusted, never a problem with the computers, having all those things, if it wasn't for all of the accompaniments, all those things, all the environment, the infrastructure that is the CNN machine, he would have never been able to stay on the air. He would have never been successful. That's the rub. And if you look at it from that vantage point, you can feel a little sorry for Lemon Head. I mean, sucks to be him. But rest assured, folks, if you want something done about immigration, you want something done about the employment, the disparities of people brought in from other countries to work here while Americans could be doing those jobs, getting displaced, you are never going to get that out of Kamala. Never, ever, ever, ever were you going to get that out of Kamala. If Trump does anything on that area at all, if he just looks over there, if he just walks over and picks up a piece of paper off of that area and puts it in the trash can, he will have done more than Kamala would do. You understand? All right, let's keep it going. Thank y'all. Hit the like button if this makes sense. Hit the like button. Sometimes reality has to be represented so that people understand exactly. His narrative is one way, but his narrative is not accurate. It is just that. It's his narrative. It's not reality. It's still going to come out better under Trump for people who are concerned about that issue. Not under Kamala. Okay. So let's move. I got a couple things to move here. Don't forget, if you want to become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. If you're already a member, thank you for supporting this show. We appreciate it. To keep things going the way they're going, you're a big part of that, so thank you for doing what you do. All right. Hit the like button, folks. Hit the like button. Oh, here goes an update, folks. Here goes an update. We have, how many people wanted to know more about the CyberTruck explosion? Here goes an update on this that I thought was kind of surprising.
The CyberTruck explosion just outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas is a, quote, tragic case of suicide, and that the driver wrote about his political grievances in the days just before the blast. CNN's Natasha Chen is on the scene for us. She has new details. What are you learning, Natasha?
Well, Wolf, we learned a lot from the investigators today at a press briefing who shared some excerpts from writings that they believe were from Livelsberger. They shared those excerpts with the public in hopes that that can shed some light and give context to why this might have happened. Generally speaking, these writings were talking about political views, challenges that he had both personally and looking at situations abroad that the United States was dealing with. He had a lot of grievances that he was writing about, and they described a notes app on his phone where he kept a sort of daily activity log of the 10 days leading up to the explosion that happened right behind us here at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Here is one of the authorities at the press briefing talking more about motive.
Can we definitively identify why he chose the Trump Hotel Tower location as well as Las Vegas? And the answer is no. In fact, I think when you read through some of that, you might find that there were some other considerations as well for other locations.
And he's saying that because, as anyone can see, this was a Tesla Cybertruck, Tesla owned by Elon Musk, in front of a Trump hotel. And so a lot of people asked what his political thinking might have been. Now, family members have told CNN that Livelsberger actually had a lot of respect for the former president, and during President Trump's first term had praised the president for what he had done to help the military. But the investigators do say on the podium there that he had considered other locations to go to, including the Grand Canyon and the border. So there is a lot still to comb through. As they say, they have just scratched the surface of going into the data that are on the devices that Livelsberger owned. So a lot more questions here, but starting to understand that at the very least, there were serious mental health challenges going on, Wolf.
Yep.
Man, I didn't expect to hear that one. So they're saying he unalived himself, y'all. They're saying this man was going through all types of mental issues. He was depressed and had been so for quite some time. He left, I don't know if you call it a manifesto. He left documentation. He left notes that point to what was going on with him and that he also considered doing other things. And they say, once again, that this wasn't intentional. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He just wanted to make a statement with his passing. He wanted to do it in public. He didn't want to go quietly in his bathtub or whatever. So I don't know, man. I think that's what they say. You know, it's always gonna be people that say, Tim Black, come on, man. I got a message from somebody, God, I think it was Thursday. It was like, I mean, it was written, but I could, the way the guy wrote it, it just felt like he was saying, Tim, come on, man. Tim, come. You don't believe this, do you? Bruh, come on, Tim. I mean, that's I look, dog, I don't know. I swear to God, man, I got people that, like, man, people don't realize how far gone people are with trusting the media, trusting what's put out the official record of events. Man, we have people that are very skeptical. And you know what? I don't have a problem with skepticism. I do not have a problem with skepticism. But what we can actually report, what we can report based on data, based on some type of corroborating evidence, something, you know, that's better. But we can always have opinions. And if you got a funny feeling about something doesn't add up, there's nothing wrong with expressing that. America has taught us one thing, and that one thing is don't trust America. I'm not saying if you were from another country, you should trust that country either. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that any country is trustworthy when they have an agenda. I don't think any country is. That I can't think of one. I don't know, okay? But I'm just telling you what based on the historical record, that there's nothing wrong with people questioning what the findings are here and the determination made by CNN and these other entities. They say he was a Trump fan, actually. Yeah, Democrats don't like hearing that one. Yeah, they want to make this negative about Trump. I mean, what the hell, man? This guy, I think, if you ask me, my gut tells me he loved Trump. He loved Trump and he loved Elon. He loved him so much he gave him a commercial on his way out the door. Yeah, he gave Elon a free commercial. You know how much coverage this has given Tesla Cybertrucks? Unsightly automobile, but durable. Yeah, it can survive an explosion. See it? Look at it. Look at it. So, doesn't seem like a person that doesn't like Elon and Trump. Can't buy that type of coverage, that type of publicity. Not that he needed it, and he could buy it. But this is even more, it's kind of hard to duplicate this. This is not one of your regular Super Bowl commercials, is it? Now, Livelsberg, I know I'm getting his name wrong. He provided a certain type of coverage that you just can't pay for, frankly. My condolences to his family. There I go. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let's keep it moving. Hit the like button if you're in the house. Fun times, folks. Fun times. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to cover a rapper. I want to cover a rapper that made a statement. Now, this statement was made a week ago. I wasn't going to cover this, but frankly, now that the dust has settled, I have not watched anyone talk about what this rapper Slim Thug said. I want to take a bite at the apple. You down? You want to ride with me? Okay, let's do it. Slim Thug, rapper from, I think, Houston, made a comment about Black America. Let's take a look at it together.
2025, we can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it, no matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't had shit and look at me now. So if I could have did it, you could have did it now. We gotta stop making excuses. Stop waiting on motherfuckers. We gotta take advantage of this shit. We gotta be happy on purpose, doing shit that make us happy.
Yeah, that's all I got. I think that's enough for Slim Thug. Give it up for Slim Thug, girl. Yeah, give it up for Slim Thug. You know, let me go this way. Let me do something different. Now, I got a feeling the low-hanging fruit is to, knock him for this and call him a sellout and call him names. And I don't want to do that. Okay, what I want to do, it's not going to be nice, but let's go this way. Slim Thug, there is something you got right. Let me start with what I agree with. I agree with you using your platform to say something that you think is positive. I think you believe that you are actually empowering people to do something. It is not crazy talk for a brother to be like, yo, we got to get it out the dirt. That's not crazy talk. Based on the history, with Black people, what we've had to do to overcome, to reap benefits, to succeed, hell, what any person has to do without having resources, networks, support, they got to get it out the dirt. And this in itself is not a bad thing to say. Okay? It's actually a positive to say, New Year, hey, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get it on us. Where you lose me, Slim Thug, is you start saying it, it's like you're implying that people ain't trying to get it. And that's the problem I have with the aspirational BS. And I'm sorry, it's BS, because you don't know what you're talking about. It's okay not to know what you're talking about. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to have feelings and to want things for people. But it would be more important, more helpful for you to actually know that people are trying. People are going at it. People are doing. My brother, our system is set up in such a way, brother, where it's just advantageous. It benefits the person that does have resources, networks, a leg up, family support, something. Not saying it can't be done. Now, I don't know if you're going to be the perfect person to judge for how well that works, because some would say you made a lot of compromises. I don't know your music like that. I remember some of it vaguely, but I got a feeling the music that you put out in order to put yourself in the position that you are at was not the most beneficial music to put you in that position. Like the people that listen to that music, the people that took the music that you probably put out, I can't imagine it was all that positive. So therefore, you compromise yourself as a man you compromise yourself. I can't talk, bro. You compromise yourself as a man in order to benefit yourself financially, to enrich yourself. And you did that at the expense of young people whose minds may not have been completely formed yet. The human brain is not completely formed until I think it's 25. Who were the people that were listening to you say dumb shit in your music? Maybe they didn't have the right role models around to counteract the bullshit I'm sure you were saying on your tracks. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know exactly all your music, but I got a feeling, bro. I got a feeling that the music that you put out 10 years ago is not the music you will put out now. Hence, this recording that you just put out. I'm not against black people doing all they can with what they have. Martin Luther King talked about this. Everyone has a responsibility to do the best they can with what they have to change their situation, to alter their condition, to lead the way for their families. We should all be on that. Any of my brothers that consider themselves conservative or whatever ideology, I don't disagree with you on that. All I'm saying is everything can't be done by individuals. Individuals can't change school systems. Individuals can't change prison systems. Individuals cannot change water supplies, food supplies, deserts, food deserts, wars, mass incarceration, government ordinances, regulations, Jim Crow, Jane Crow, Scarecrow. There are things that individuals cannot change. Okay? That's what happens in society when you have this environment, this infrastructure around you. You can't change these things. Yes, you can go as an individual and do things. Yes, you can. I've done things. I don't sit here as a person that hasn't done anything. I had a whole career before I started doing this. I was successful as a writer, successful as a speaker, paid to speak, paid to write, and then I was in IT. I worked as a contractor in DC. I was doing well. This is just what I really wanted to do. And the advent of the technology becoming more accessible, where anybody with a few $100s could get started, I said, what the hell, why not? I'm 40 years old, why not go for it? Yeah, why not do it? But that does not negate the fact that these systems must change. So to Slim, I would say, brother, I'm not going to spend all day talking about all the ways in which America has hurt black people and how could you overlook this and overlook that. We should all know that you left a whole lot of stuff out. And I'm sure you would acknowledge those things. But what I'm saying is that is not the end all be all of what needs to happen. Because not every child can do everything on their own. Everybody, you should not have to be LeBron in order to have a nice life. You should not have to be Slim Thug. Put out song after song, trashing women or trashing, or talking about selling drugs, or being a thug in order to be able to take care of your family. Every person, every black child, every black young person should not have to do what you had to do. I'm sure a lot of your homies were good people. They just didn't make it, did they? Why? What stopped them? And don't say it was just as if it's... Far too many black people met early demises. Far too many people, far too many Americans died unnecessarily early in ways that could have been prevented if we just had a system that gave a damn about those people. Next thing, and I think this is the more relevant point, or just as relevant, okay? I wish we could just move beyond blaming just individual white people. Yeah, because your argument is we need to stop blaming them people. You don't even got the heart to say white. How many white people buying Slim Thug's music? You can't even say the word white. Okay. Talking like you bold, like you're revolutionary. You can't even say white people. Okay, check this out, bro. We need to stop making it about individual white people because it's not about them. It's about our government and our systems, bro. That's the problem. That's what needs to be modified. It was legal to have slaves. It was legal to discriminate. It was legal not to allow housing. It was legal to white men weren't being prosecuted for taking black women against their will, or black men against their will if they wanted to. You understand what I'm saying? Or black children against their will if they wanted to. If they pick one up one night on a dark road. And I'm not talking about slavery times. They weren't being prosecuted. Okay? So what I'm saying is, this is not about individuals. This is about, we had a system that enabled, not just enabled, it promoted it, it turned the other cheek. It definitely was not providing justice for us. So what I'm saying is, in this current day, we need to look beyond individuals. We're going to find individuals, regardless of what color they are, that are great people. They're individuals that are horrible people. We're talking about systems. I talk about systems. My stories may cover individuals, okay? But at the end of the day, it's about the system that created, maintains, defends, supports, embraces, uplifts. It's not just about Kamala. It's a system that she came out of that put her in front of us. It's not just Trump. It's a system that created Trump, that made Trump possible, that made Trump be Trump to become Trump. Trump didn't make Trump become Trump. The system made Trump become Trump if Trump wanted to be who Trump is now, which is president-elect. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It's a system. So we got to look at this for more than just individuals. But I guess if you would have said it the way I just said it, if you would have put out a clip, you said, y'all, we need to be focused on these systems. We need to be focused on what's behind, what's going in our food, what's going in our water, what's going in our air, where the opportunities are, where are the jobs, where are the real opportunities are for working people. Not for the big corporations, but for the people that actually live in those areas. Why can't we give some young people visas? Here, so some people living in the inner city or living in impoverished areas. Why come they can't get a visa in their own country to go live in their own country in better, more affluent areas with better school systems? Why we can't have our own visa program for people in the country that want to go to places where there are opportunities? There are people they're basically landlocked into depraved conditions, impoverished conditions, where industry is really not there. There are towns you can go to in this country, Slim Thug, where there ain't nothing but a jail, a hotel, a gas station, a Piggly Wiggly, or a supermarket, a liquor store, a gun shop, a jail. Like, there are places in this country, that's all you're going to see. Why come we can't have visas for our people, our young people and our old people, to be able to get up out of that? See, but you got to think. You got to have politicians that are thinking about remedies for people here in this country and be serious about it. But if you'd have put out a video about that, would that have got views? Would it have gone viral? Would I be talking about it a week later? I might have. But I got a feeling most of the people that commented on you wouldn't have. So yeah, I don't even want to diss you. I just want to say, seek more knowledge. Do some more digging. I'm glad you give a damn enough to say something. I'm going to err on the side of caution and say, hey, you mean well. I'm going to say you mean well. I don't know you like that to say you didn't. I don't want to get cheap views off you, saying you don't mean well and you're a sellout and you're corny and all this stuff. You know what? I don't want that energy. I don't want that energy, bro. Look further. Dig deeper. Quote from Zoe Williams. 5150, stand up. All right, let's keep going, y'all. And if you thought I should have ripped him up, if I should have called him a bunch of names out of his name and disrespected him, you part of the problem. We got to be better than that. 2025, stand up. All right? Plus, I'm saving it for this video. I'm saving it for this video, man. Oh my God, this next segment. Fam, what is wrong with us, man? Well, I can't say us. It's not us. And I tell you, man, sometimes I think trying to get America itself, trying to get America to paint a picture that makes sense, to tell a true story, man, it's like it's like being able to do a certain type of trick, a trick that's impossible. You know, it will require you to have all kinds of luck because the system is totally against us, you know? I saw this clip and I thought, hey, this is a type of luck you gotta have in order to thread the needle, in order to get America to focus on what matters for us without the gaslighting. You see this? See the shock on his face? It went in. He can't believe it. He can't believe it went in. That's the luck you gotta have. That's what type of luck we need to have in 2025. Or we're gonna get something out of these Democrats and these Republicans that actually benefits us. Let's train up. Wax on, wax off. All right, Daniel, son. Next segment. Check this out. Joy Reid had a segment where she talked about everything. If Joy Reid wasn't a gaslighter, she'd be nothing. I said if Joy Reid wasn't a gaslighter, she'd be nothing. Her main job is to gaslight the hell out of America, particularly Black Americans. Check out this segment from MSNBC's #1 pit bull, Joy Ann Reid.
This new year. If you were, say, a billionaire or a mega millionaire who owned major corporations that control everything from oil and agriculture to how Americans shop and what they drive, how we access healthcare, the devices we use, how we get information, the price of housing, food, and more, and you were using your massive wealth, not necessarily to make life easier or more affordable for ordinary Americans, but rather to just make more money, how would you handle the inevitable backlash when average Americans figure out they're getting played and paying higher tax rates than you while earning a fraction of what your CEOs and stockholders rake in, and also paying more for literally everything? How would you keep the anger at bay, forestall a storm the Bastille revolution? Well, one thing you could do is build high walls to live behind, hire private security, and travel around in an armored car. That might keep you safe from the teeming masses. Kind of isolating, though. Or you could get millions of average Americans to take your side.
You know what I find kind of interesting here is that I wonder what Joy Ann Reid had to say about the United Healthcare exec that was shot down. Because you could almost hear that, sort of like that sentiment. You know, like she said, hey, these billionaires. We know he was a millionaire. But the industry, once again, the industry is not a millionaire. It's a multi-billion, if not $1 trillion industry, right? We're talking about the healthcare system. It's just sort of like on that pathway, but like all things that are neoliberal, that are about privatization in the corporations, to pay out the money of the corporations, which MSNBC big time supports. Like that's where they are. That's how their bread is buttered, yo. I thought she was going to go there, but she didn't. It's like everything she's saying fits. You said, hey, people going to storm the castle, you know. Luigi? Nah, she's going to pivot. This is about Republicans. It can't be about anything that actually helps us. Yeah, there you go. There you go, thinking maybe it's possible. There's something redeemable about Joy Reid. No, it's going to go about Republicans.
Root for you and even fight harder for you and your wealth than they do for themselves. Get them to make your priorities their priorities. Maybe even get them to fight other non-rich people, immigrants and minorities, and anybody but you and your fellow billionaires. Okay, well, how would you do that? Because that would be one hell of a magic trick. Back in the 1980s, Rush Limbaugh became a radio powerhouse by enthralling mainly white working class men, truck drivers, cops, and other non-college educated blue collar types who spent their workdays in their cars or other places where they could tune into AM radio for hours. AM radio networks saw the potential profit in this and syndicated his show to hundreds of rural of the prominent and affluent Limbaughs of Girardeau, Missouri, could lean into his golden microphone and making white working class men's lives worse. Not the Reagan Revolution, which ended pensions, gutted unions, and slashed away at Lyndon Johnson's Great Society programs. No.
Yeah. Gosh, man, I don't think I can make you sit through all of it. The thing about it is, Joy Reid's not totally wrong. Nah, she's not totally wrong. She's mostly wrong, but she's not totally wrong. She's got a point. America's too fixated, too glued to millionaires and billionaires. And too much of America is held captive by those entities that control them purse strings. Yeah, too much is going on in America. It's about the money. It's about the corporation control, whether it be our networks, our media, whether it be our politicians. This is a song that we keep playing because it's so true. It's so real. It's a beat. It's an 808. Put on top of it what you will. You can always dance to it. But the thing about Joy Reid, you would think the Democrats don't have billionaires. More billionaires supported Kamala Harris than billionaires supported Donald Trump. You wouldn't know that from this segment. You also wouldn't know it if you were dumb enough to follow D.L. Hughley, who posted this. And there are people that commented about how real Joy Reid is. It's just, neither side is on your side. Neither side is on your side. That's why we got to create a new side, our side. Do you realize that? That's where I'm going with this. And that's what Joy Reid will never have the courage to say, because she can't. She cannot say that and have a job. And you know what? And I used to couldn't get this. I didn't understand it. I said, but all the billions of dollars these people have socked away, they can't say the real. And that's just my poor people thinking, because what does a man with $100 million want? $200 million. It never gets to the point. Joy Reid has made multiple tens of millions of dollars per year for probably 10 years. And that's just her salary. You would think at some point she'd go, you know what? I'm going to say some truth. And she will, but it's only about the Republicans. She'll never throw in her own party. She'll never keep it a buck, because all of it is propaganda in order to drive you to the Democratic Party. And then we got little propagandists like D.L. Hughley, Charlamagne the God, just to name a couple, who work in concert with them to get the money that they get. Joy Reid is right. She's right. Corporations control too much, and we end up pitting minorities. I hate the term minority. They try to pit us against one another to keep the gravy train running. This is basic. But here's the other thing. Why the Republican Party is pitting group against group, the Democratic Party is doing the same thing on the other side. We just got through covering a topic where James Carville, strategist since the Clinton years, has been around for 50 years. He says, hey, we spent the whole time talking about Trump, and we weren't talking about the issues. And that's what the Democrats do. Republicans vilify groups. Immigrants, blacks, Latinos, right? Welfare queens, whatever. Which is typically, almost always, an acronym or a synonym for black people. Don't like that? It's the truth. Deal with it. I got conservatives who don't want to accept that. CRT, BLM, woke, these are just terms for black. Welfare queen, all these is welfare. This is just your way of saying N-word without saying it. Hey, I'm not even going to hold you. These are facts. I'm just making sure we understand where each other's coming from. That we had to have a baseline of true facts that we're working with. But the Democrats, they do another thing. They make it all about the Republicans. They make it all about these groups. They make it all about what the Republicans are doing. Never about what the people need. That's not their focus. And they make it about their groups. They make it about LGBT and Black and Latino and immigrant and all these. They do the same thing, but they do it the other way. But it's never about anything that really makes their lives really better. It just looks better. It sounds better. It seems like a good buzzword. It gives you another acronym. It's defund the police. It's Black Lives Matter. It's Latinx. It is rainbow love, whatever. But at the end of the day, they're both doing the same things. These are distractions from what the people need. That's why I keep saying we need another party. We need another way forward, because neither one of these parties are operating for us. Joanne Reed has had an opportunity in this segment to do something she would never do. So I guess it's not that I expected her to do it, but the amount of people that I saw that shared this segment as if this was some groundbreaking, dope stuff where she dug up Rush Limbaugh, who's been dead a decade, to talk about how horrible he was. Well, not a decade. Since 2016, I think it was. 2017. Lived long enough to get an award from Trump. And make it about him. Or about the media conservative machine. It leaves out the fact that all the billionaires and all the millionaires, the millionaires and the billionaires, when Senator Sanders is talking about the millionaires and billionaires, he's talking about Democrats. Joy acts like they don't exist. Because them the good Democrats. Them the good billionaires. Them the good millionaires. Yeah, like that white kid, Bankman that stole all that money or defrauded everyone and was giving all that money to political campaigns and they was kissing his ass. Anyway, hey, it's true. The Republicans focus on corporate interests, wrapping in a national flag in the morons. Go for it. Because they know the right tune to play. Because Hollywood gives them the backdrop of the camouflage of national pride, of patriotism. Okay? Democrats do the same thing. They wrap it in minority groups, civil rights, social justice. Never going far enough actually to make their lives better for those veterans, to make their lives better for the average working class, middle of the country person, white person that they're trying to recruit, or that's the bread and butter of their party. Never really. And on this side, all this divvying up and attention to these special interest groups or these minority groups, these hate saying that, but gotta articulate it in this social justice stratification of these groups. It doesn't really make their lives better, but it gives them something to fight for, fight against, and it gives them something to cheer for. And it hits them emotionally in a place where they can be captive and they can be lured and influenced by that messaging. Same thing on this side. So if you're on the Joy Reid side, if you're a Democrat, or if you're a person that resonates more with the Democratic message, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Realize the same strategies are being played on the other side to full effect, to great effect. The same machinations working on you. Just a different music. Y'all both dancing. So whether you're dancing for Beyonce's new country western cut or whatever's over here playing, whatever that is, or if you're dancing to Slim Thug on this side, or whatever that is, whether it's Rihanna, I don't know, you're still dancing. And they don't much give a nobody gives a damn what you dance to long as you dance. And Joy Reid is DJing. And Sean Hannity is DJing. And Don Lemon is DJing. Tucker Carlson, DJ. Makes sense? And until we break the record. The record's going to keep on spinning, baby. Somebody, unplug that motherfucker. It needs to be us because they ain't going to do it for us. All right, guys, my name is Tim Black. Thank you for tuning into the Tim Black Show. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Go to Tim at TimBlackTV.com or send to Tim at TimBlackTV.com. Go to Tim at TimBlackTV.com. You can send me a message. Go to TimBlackTV.com and send me a message. I got a website. TimBlackTV.com. I got a mug. Support this show. Go to TimBlackMug.com. Go to Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. That's where you become a member of the VIP group. Member of the Wolfpack. Team Black. VIP. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support, your solidarity. Let's do this. Let's go to comments, y'all. Megs is in the house. Thank you, Megs, for supporting this show. Schultze came through. I support your third party, Johnson. Black Mamba's in the house. And so is Schultze. Thank you. Damn tune, great Sunday night, Rand Tim. And Don Lemon can lick it. Thank you, Schultze. I appreciate it. All right, folks, that's all I got. I'll see you on the next one. And remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's their goal. Whether it's Republicans or Democrats, they're trying to take your cornbread. All right. Okay. Where my ladies at?